Yeah. So, as I was saying, there's an insane amount of extremely intrusive, creepy, surveillance based harassment and aggression that occur constantly when I am in this living space, minding my own business and doing whatever I have the right to do in the privacy of my living space. However, this is not a private living space, and as multiple people associated with the Greenville Group have informed me over the last 8 years, there are surveillance devices being used in this unit, even now as I speak. The evidence of that constantly hits me almost literally every day when I take off my clothes or even start changing out of them, lie on my bed facing the ceiling, and if I don't cover myself, the psycho scum thug directly below in 76 starts violently pounding the area directly beneath my bed when I'm lying on my bed on my back facing the ceiling. This violent pounding almost always occurs with pounding from the bathroom behind this wall, where a psychopath, sex offender, and cyber criminal named Jasmine Irizarry has been housed by the Greenville Group since 2013. I am now realizing that Irizarry, the psychopath and sex offender, and yes, she's a sex offender, anybody who places surveillance devices in other people's bathrooms and then becomes intrusive and violent when they sit on the toilet is an obvious sex offender. Normal people don't do that. Normal people don't want to see what other people do in their bathrooms, especially if they're on the toilet. That is normal. Sex offenders are like literally swallowing that shit up, pun intended. Okay, that's a sex offender. Irizarry is a sex offender. I keep saying Irizarry is a sex offender because she was listed in the Massachusetts Sex Offender Registry in 20, I don't know, 15, 16, 17. You know, maybe she's not in there anymore, but I think that she probably is. Or maybe she's such a talented cyber criminal, as Oleg Eliseyev of the Greenville Group put it, that she erased her own criminal record. That's possible. Anyway, over the last hour and a half, while I've been lying on my bed trying to take a nap, I have a lot of stuff to do and did a lot of cleaning earlier. Oh, there's something on the floor. The psycho scum directly below in 76 started getting really intrusive. He was repeatedly pounding the area below my bed at the same time as Irizarry, the sex offender in the bathroom of 78, was pounding the area behind my kitchen sink. That's the wall of her bathroom. I guess she's been moved back into Unit 78, or maybe she's just being permitted to access the premises of her former bathroom for the sole purposes of harassment and stalking that is obviously surveillance based. Because while I've been lying on my bed just trying to nap, and I'm not wearing a shirt right now, so not wearing a shirt, but I'm wearing a bra, this seems to have set off all the psycho scum perverts, not just in 78 who was smacking the wall, not just in 76 who was repeatedly banging directly below my bed when I was lying there. The creep in 88, the masturbating shouter, has been pretty quiet. But there were a bunch of psycho creeps suddenly screaming out on the street below my windows while I was lying there in my bra, facing the ceiling, trying to nap. And I have, as I mentioned, been, I don't know if it's a curse or a blessing, but blessed with a divine connection to somebody who is in a position of authority over this entire situation. This person could be law enforcement, they could be a clerk, a judge, somebody in the judicial system, somebody related to the management of this building complex or the company, a police detective, a police officer, uh, but they are connected to this situation and have absolute authority over it. I know who he is. I'm not going to say who he is. And up until now, I've been just shaking my head at him because he really has not been doing anything to assist my situation. He's helping the criminals who engage in this type of psychotic, intrusive, aggressive, illegal activity. Well, he just came through now, and it is super quiet out on the street. All of a sudden, the screaming psycho pervs from the 191 Green Street building, that's where they house most of the sex offenders, according to Mr. Eliseyev, the property manager. But apparently, Mr. Eliseyev has also been housing some sex offenders directly next door in 88, directly below in 76, and he's been housing Irizarry, the sex offender, in the bathroom of 78 since 2013. So it's not just 191 Green Street that houses the sex offenders. It's also this building, and not just this building, but all 3 adjacent units to mine, as I keep saying. So the result of that is I can't lie on my bed in a bra, but with shorts on. So I am wearing shorts without having a tremendous amount of violence, intrusive behavior, and aggression occurring directly below my bed, against the floor, directly against the back of this kitchen sink, which is about as close as a psychopath and sex offender Irizarry can possibly get to smacking the area around my bed, because that's what she wants to do. She's a sex offender. And from the psycho screaming creeps across the street at 191, which is basically a holding pen for a bunch of psychotic, mentally disturbed perverts, as far as I can tell. They're almost all males. They have some serious issues with women. I've been physically assaulted by 3 of them violently, not just, somebody like comes up to you and shoves you, which is already pretty violent, but they literally were hammering away at me with their fists. Those are the psycho pervs at 191, and they were screaming below my windows for like an hour while I was lying here on my bed. The screaming only happened as soon as I lay down on my bed, and then it stopped. And that's because, from what I was able to pick up, the divine connection that I have with this person of authority stepped in, and he stopped it. And it is now completely quiet. Super, super quiet. And no, the divine connection is not with Mr. Eliseyev, the property manager. Let's just get one thing straight here. Eliseyev is the problem. He's not the solution. This suddenly stopped. The craziness, the psycho perving suddenly stopped. Irizarry, who was making repeated smacking noises against the back of the sink at around 6:30 p.m., is now silent. The psycho thug in 76 below, who was literally pounding the area below my bed for like 45 minutes while I was lying on it, between 5:15 p.m. and like 6:45, suddenly stopped. And now I can actually enjoy like having my dinner and sitting at my table with no shirt on, as it is my right to do, but with shorts. But if I wanted to sit here with no clothes on, that is my right. This is my living space, and I have the right to be clothed or unclothed in it as I need to be, without being psychotically aggressed and harassed by these psycho pervs that are so rejected, so mentally disturbed, that they literally spend all their time using surveillance devices in other people's living spaces. Okay. Other females, I'm assuming they might be doing this to males. I don't know, but it's probably females, and literally getting violent when that particular female happens to be in any kind of a state of undress. They are that mentally disturbed that they spend their wasted lives perving all over images of neighbors just minding their own business in the privacy of their living spaces. That is just sad, right? That is absolutely just pathetic. But that's how you're dealing with psycho scum. And psycho scum, unfortunately, these days, they don't seem to end up in prison. They end up in the units all around mine. 76, 78, 88, although he's been pretty quiet throughout the day today, so I can't say that he was part of the problem today. He wasn't. It was more the screaming perverts in 191 who were shouting out on the street below my windows. It started happening about 10 minutes after I lay down on this bed, and it stopped when I sort of appealed to my divine connection, and all of a sudden, boom, total silence. So my divine connection stepped in today like a boss. He is a boss, and he should act like one, and he did. He came through. So I'm actually really impressed with him, and I haven't been impressed with him at all up until now. I've been shaking my head over this whole situation, really, but he came through. And because he is in a position to do something about this, he did. And the result is very impressive. Total silence. Absolutely no pounding, no noise, nothing. The creep in 88 isn't even blasting his usual, horror movie soundtrack as he normally does. He's completely silent too. So is my divine connection a boss? Yes, he is. Is he an authority to do something about all this craziness? Yes, he is. Have I been impressed with him up until now? No, I haven't, unfortunately. Am I really impressed with him now? My mind is just blown. Let's put it that way.